Hey guys, and welcome to Petrol Ped. Now today the weather is absolutely horrible. It's a horrible day, but it's a good day because today is new car day. I'm on my way to collect my brand new Hendy Long Termer. I'll tell you what car it is and show you around the car very shortly. But before then, I thought I'd best give you my final impressions and update on this car, the Mustang MachE Long Range. Yeah, today really isn't very nice at all. Now, I've had this car for way longer than planned. When I first started working with Hendy as a brand ambassador, we kind of thought we'd try and get me in a different car every 2 to 3 months to run as a long termer. And the idea behind that was I'd get the collection experience, I'd get to show you around a new car, and then I'd live with it as a customer and really get under the skin. Even when I get a press car for a week, there's still things that you don't really find out about a car until you spend a long extended period of time in it. But I've had this car way longer than planned. Oh, that's a nice big puddle. I've been running it since the back end of last year, and I've done a lot of miles in it and had it a long time, and I've really got to know the car a great deal. So what are my final impressions? I'll start with the disappointing stuff first, I think. I guess there's two main disappointments for me in this car. The first one is it's an expensive car, it's got a very big battery pack, and this is the extended range or long range version of the Mustang MachE. And if you look at the quoted range figures for the car from Ford, they're sort of high 200s, certainly 270, 280 miles, that kind of thing should be doable. I'm not going to quote WLTP figures because, to be quite frank, they're not worth the paper they're written on, in my humble opinion. The problem I've got is we've been running the car through the winter, which hasn't helped the range. But for example, this morning the car had around about 100% of charge, about 99% of charge, and it was indicating just over 210 miles. And that's kind of about where we've been really, 210 to 230 miles on a full charge. And you can reset the driving history and it gets better than that. When I had the work done on the battery, I had some warranty work done because there was a fault on the car. They changed or upgraded the software that runs the battery management system, and that range extended the range, but it's kind of reverted back to sort of low 200s, and I just don't think that's good enough. I think that a car with this battery pack and one that calls it extended range should be delivering 270 miles or more. So range hasn't been great. Actually, for us and the way we've used the car, it's never been a major problem. I don't think I've ever plugged it into public charging infrastructure since we've had it. We've just always done journeys within its range profile and used it locally a lot. And with the charger at home, it's been really, really easy and really useful. The other thing, a negative really, is just the ride quality is quite harsh and quite choppy. I remember when I got the car, a few people said, oh, you know, the ride quality on one of those is really, really harsh. And it is. It is a firm and choppy ride. And again, for this style of car, this kind of SUV, you'd expect maybe a more luxurious, opulent, smooth ride. But you don't really get that so much with this car. They're my two negatives, really. The positives, it's a very comfortable place if you put the ride to one side. The seats are comfortable, you've got all the technology. I really like the big screen, and I know a lot of people have commented in the videos I've done with this car, you know, that it's too big and it's distracting. It's really not. I mean, a fantastic example at the moment, I'm running Waze. It's probably the biggest Waze display you're ever going to get, and you've got all of the information you need at hand, and it's a really, really easy to use. You don't have to go into it too much when you're driving along, and you just get used to it. I think the climate control, the climate control's a little bit fiddly. Certainly, even just adjusting the heated seat, you have to go in, and there's a couple of interactions with it. So I'd like some real buttons, but we're in an electric car. You don't get that very often in electric cars. You can use Apple CarPlay and all of those things. There's plenty of space in the car. The boot's massive. There's loads of space for passengers, so it's a very practical car indeed. And then from a performance point of view, well, I'm in untamed mode at the moment. And all I need to say is, it's a really quick car. When you're in untamed mode, and I don't drive it in untamed mode very often, refer back to the little conversation we just had about range. But in untamed mode, it's a quick car. I enjoy driving the car, and I enjoy the whole ownership experience. I think it looks like a really cool car. Red wouldn't be my colour of choice. I think these look better in the sort of darker colours, maybe black or a sort of dark metallic grey colour. But it's a cool colour. We'll have a debate till the cows come home, I'm sure, about the name of the car, the Mustang. Again, very common. It's not a Mustang, it's not got a V8 in it. I know that Mustang is now a brand, but we see that across a lot of different manufacturers. And I think we just have to take a deep breath and just accept that that's the way things are. But we're on our way to another Hendy dealership to pick up my new car. The brand of the new car is a brand I haven't had on the channel very much. I think just one car from this brand on the channel since I've been doing Petrol Ped, last 7.5 years. I have actually owned a car from this brand many years ago, but I'll update you more when we get to the Hendy dealership we're going to. I'm going to concentrate on the driving because the weather's horrible. So I have arrived. Brand Nissan. Location, I'm at Hendy Nissan in Bournemouth. This is Ben, who is going to be doing the handover today. Hello mate, welcome to the channel.
Yeah, very well. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. The weather is appalling. We're in one of these amazing handover bays. I just want to go through what the customer handover would be when you pick up a car from the guys here at Hendy Nissan in Bournemouth. But before we do that, shall we reveal what the car is?
Certainly, let's have a look.
It's a Nissan. Question is which one. So if we pull off the cover, whether you'll guess or not. So this is the new Nissan Ariya, a full EV, but let's deep dive into the car. But to do that, we're going to shut these doors because it's cold and it's raining and it's horrible. And we're going to talk more about this car. But first impressions are, it looks wicked.
Lovely car, isn't it?
It's really cool. Right, let's shut these doors. Now, the challenge we have is we are now inside and it's sheltered from the wind. It's quite a small handover bay, so getting the right angles and stuff. But we'll stand here and you can talk to me all about the car. So I guess first things first, I love the colour. What's the name of the colour?
So this is our metallic gunmetal grey. This one is finished in.
It's really cool. So it's an Ariya, it's a full battery electric vehicle.
Yes.
So tell me the important stats about this particular model that I've got.
So this one here is the Evolve.
Yep.
So they do two levels. They do the Advanced and the Evolve. So it's the higher trim level. And they do it in two battery sizes. Now we're stood in front of the 87 kilowatt, but we also do a 63 kilowatt.
Yep.
The 87 gives you a bit more miles, goes up to 320 miles on a solo charge, in comparison to the 63 kilowatt, which still boasts 250 miles on a solo charge.
Okay, so it's not bad. Is there a bit of a price difference between the two battery pack sizes?
Yeah, so the 63 kilowatt, you can get in both specifications, so it does depend on which one you go for.
Yeah.
But they start around about 48,000, but can go up to about 55, 56,000. Just depends on which level and battery size.
And this is the top spec one, so this is the north end of that price range.
It is, yeah. This has also got the sport pack added, so it gives you the 20-inch wheels with the aero covers and the beautiful blue interior.
Yeah, now the interior of this is pretty special. So when I was told I was getting an Ariya, I have to say, because it's a really new model out, it's only like 6 months old, I did have to Google it to have a look. And it's a really edgy design. And one of the things, just looking around the showroom, there's some Nissan models that people will know, I guess, from the Leaf. It got the Qashqai, and this wasn't one I was familiar with. But the front end, very edgy styling.
Yeah, it's really good design.
It's pretty funky, isn't it? I love the grille. It's got like a nod to it being a grille, but it's not. It's completely smooth. But yeah, I love this colour, although there is one in the showroom. What's that colour called of that car in the showroom?
So that's called the Aurora Green.
It's a triple colour paint, and you look at it and I'm thinking, depending on how the light's falling on it, it's green, it's black, or it's blue. Or purple, like a purple.
Blue, so
it's a stunning colour, but the most amazing thing is it's not like a paint to sample colour. I think it's just a standard colour.
Standard colour. It's the free colour that's included with the car when you order it.
So if you're going to buy one of these, buy that colour.
Definitely.
Because it's amazing, absolutely amazing. So, should we jump on the inside? And so, normally when you do a handover with a customer, I mean, this is a bit fake because obviously, you know, I get in and out of new cars all the time.
Yes.
But when a customer's buying a new car like this, I guess if they've not had an electric car before, it's probably quite an overwhelming thing. There's so many features on the car, so much technology. Your job is to make sure that they know how to utilise all that tech.
100%, yeah. So with the electric vehicles, we spend a 2-hour handover with them. So every customer comes in, come in and get a drink, their coffee, and then they sit down for 2 hours to go through the ins and outs of the cars, going through everything to make sure they're fully ready for the road ahead.
Good, right, well, should we jump on the inside and we can do maybe not the full 2 hours, but we can certainly have a good look, because it's a blue interior.
It is.
Ooh.
Yes.
It's really nice in here.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Now, I was saying on the video on the way in, I have owned one Nissan in my life. Had a Nissan Silvia Turbo many moons ago, cheap speed. This was before the whole JDM tuning scene came on. And I've driven a Nissan GTR once, so I've not had any seat time in them at all. Don't know anything about the infotainment system or anything. So first impressions is it's a very high-end feeling.
Yeah,
interior.
definitely.
Beautiful. Is this like an Alcantara sort of
exactly that
on the dash?
Yeah, no, exactly. That comes as part of the sport pack with the seats. It comes matching with the dash.
Yeah. And then what are these like haptic? Should we probably turn the car on? Should we?
Yep.
Just make sure.
Everything works.
Memory seats.
That's it.
I hope the previous person wasn't too sure of that. Wow. So talk me through just a sort of brief overview. First of all, that's really clever, the way that those come through the wood finish.
Yeah, and it's all haptic feel, haptic buttons, so as you press it, and it all changes on the dashboard, but it is all haptic response.
So almost proper buttons for air control of
exactly that.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
So you've got your one touchscreen this side, which has got all your navigation and all your infotainment system. So quite simply, press the button, everything will load up from your navigation, and then you've got all down the right hand side, all your different media options with your navigation. You've got all your music, digital radio, wireless Apple CarPlay, wired Android, everything like that, all available on here, all your Bluetooth, all your controls for all your heated seats, your vented seats as well when they evolve.
Good.
So you've got that's always nice. All your heated windscreen, all your options are available here. With your heated steering wheel as well on the top right. So all climate controls all done via the screen, as well as the little bit down here on the haptic buttons.
Yeah. It's a nice kind of swoop. Is that like, it almost looks like there's two screens. We've got that lovely joining piece, but there's still some
buttons to the right there. So this is where you've got all your cameras.
Oh, and they're touchscreen as well.
They're all touchscreen. You've got your 360 cameras to the left hand side, so your bird's eye view with your front camera, your rear camera. As you swipe, you've got different guest modes and different profiles you can set for the car, so you can have your own music, all your preset radio stations, all your own setup for you or your other half, all throughout. You've got your Alexa, you've got your Nissan connected services all built in here, so if you do connect everything all up, you can speak to your Alexa to set a destination to the car, so when you're at home you can speak it and it'll be already on the sat nav waiting for you when you get in.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, might have to play with that then. And then this is nice, I guess there's little cup holders in there.
Yeah, so you've got two cup holders, you've got a storage space here with your wireless phone charger, available down here. And then you've got you got a little bit more down the bottom down here with your some USB connections, PowerPoint, power storage. Now with the Evolve, you have something a bit different with this center console. So you should be able to see by your right side, you've got two arrows.
Yeah.
So that will actually move the center console all the way to the back. So, and then you have this flat section through the middle. So you've got a bit more space.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
And then with that as well, you've got two glove boxes in this car. Yeah. So you've got your traditional glove box down here. Yeah. And then you've got your open and close button. So if you hold down the open button on there, then have a second one that comes out, which can be used as a laptop stand, iPad stand, whatever you like, and then slide it with a bit more storage.
Wow. Go from there. I don't think I've seen something like that before.
No, it's
quite unique.
And then it's all, and then you hold it down and it closes itself.
Front-wheel drive or four-wheel drive?
Optional in the area. You can get a four-wheel drive model called E-Force, or it's a front-wheel drive.
Yeah. Okay. That's obviously a summarised, shortened version of the handover. Loads of room in the back by the looks of things as well, and a pan roof.
Yes. So you've got two options. You pull this back just for the panoramic roof, so the blind will wait for that to get all the way to the back.
Yep. Opens the light up hugely, doesn't it?
And then you've got two options with the roof. You can either just have it tilted to let a little bit of airflow in, or you can slide it and the whole sunroof will open.
We've getting to that time of year where we might be doing that.
Certainly are.
And then I guess just...
And then press it again. That closes the roof, then close the other one to close the blind.
Awesome. Well, I think the next thing I need to do is get in and give it a drive.
Definitely so.
Hey, thank you so much for the handover.
No, you're more than welcome. Thank you very much.
Looking forward to experiencing Nissan ownership. Right.
Perfect.
Well, I'm going to... the next time I speak to you will be in the car on the way home. But yeah, very cool.
Enjoy it.
So, here we are. Behind the wheel of my new Long Termer. Firstly, huge thanks to all the guys at Hendy Nissan in Bournemouth. First time I've been in that showroom actually, but brilliant handover experience. Truncated a little bit. Clearly I get in lots of new cars, so I don't need to run through everything. But as we said in the video, I think when you buy a new car, any new car from any manufacturer, to be frank, there's so much technology on board these days. If you get offered the opportunity to have a proper run through, a proper briefing, then take it. You know, suck the all the information you can out of your handover sales purse, because it's really worth it. You'll get more out of your car, that's for sure. I'm not going to do very much about the car in terms of, you know, we'll do a full review very, very shortly on the channel. Immediate impressions are the cabin fit and finish is lovely. The materials in here, the feel of the steering wheel, I love this kind of wood effect with the haptic buttons behind it. I just think it looks really smart. In fact, the only time I've seen that effect before was on that BMW iX I had recently for the towing test. You know, that was a £120,000 car. So yeah, fit and finish, very nice. It's got a very solid feeling. The weight of the steering's really nice already. I can feel that just from the few manoeuvres I've done and just going around that roundabout. I've got 3 drive modes that are selectable just here. Basically Sport, Standard and Eco. I've dropped it straight into Sport just to feel what the car's like. Unfortunately, I'm in Bournemouth at the moment with lots of speed limits and things. Visibility's great. I've got a head-up display. As soon as we've dropped that shade back on the pan roof, it's very airy in here, and you can kind of then see the colouring, these blue seats with the Alcantara. It's a really, really nice place to sit. I'd be interested to see how it compares back to back with the MachE. I don't think it's going to have the out-and-out performance of the MachE. You know, in Untamed mode, it's a pretty potent car, to be honest, but I don't think that's necessarily what this particular car is aimed at. But it certainly feels nice, and what it feels really good straight away, I tell you now, the ride quality and ride comfort in this is already better than the MachE. But I'm going to make my way home. I'm going to enjoy the car for a few days, get my head around it, start to appreciate it, and really get a view of it, and then I'll do a proper look around, talk about, you know, the size of the boot and how much space there is in the back and all of that kind of stuff, the normal stuff I would do in my normal reviews. I want to say a big shout out to Hendy. It's a real privilege being a brand ambassador. Sometimes I get comments about, you know, the fact I might not be particularly unbiased because of the relationship I have with them, but I hope that I am. I hope that I will tell you things as I see them. But the opportunity to get into new cars and explore new manufacturers and new models for me is really exciting. I don't currently have a relationship with Nissan UK at a brand level, so to get into a Nissan and experience their cars, everything from their infotainment system just to just the general user experience, is really exciting for me, and that's what I want to be doing. I want to be getting more and more brands on the channel. But for now, I'm going to enjoy my new daily, the Nissan Ariya. Put in the comments below, what do you think? What do you think of the styling? I know the styling's a bit edgy. We'll talk about that when I do my proper review. Just noticed the regenerative braking in it's pretty punchy. That's quite nice. Proper one-pedal driving. But if you enjoyed that, please give me a thumbs up. Comments below are always welcome, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Petrol Ped for plenty more content to come. And I'll see you on the next film, guys. You take care. Drive safe.